Hey man, I back once more. So continue with principle number 3 of all these three spheres. Best sphere soqala, cosmic mind or cosmic body. Second sphere is the intellectual mind or the individual mind. The third sphere, it's where the crafts and the architect the skill has been displayed. Sorry for that. Yeah. So besasithethile ke ngoku principle number 1, which is the abyss in the cosmic mind, which in the intellectual mind is the unconscious, and in the surrealism sphere or the physical plane is the memory box, where all the ideas of the artist will be collected as one. Then Sati, also when you go back to cosmic mind, principle number 2 is fire, which in the intellectual mind is the ideas that manifest, which in the surrealist sphere it becomes the inspiration. All the inspiration that you will be creating artworks from will be collected in that memory box. Now we are in the principle number 3. Principle number 3, it's air. When the light came into manifestation, it burst out. Space started to be created. You see? And also for the light to move and expand, it has to expand in space. You know? This is the third principle in the cosmic mind. After the light manifested, space came. Because by the first time the light manifests, also the space started to manifest. So, when we move from the sphere of the cosmic mind, we go to sphere intellectual, you as a being. The principle that which is air in the creation becomes space principle in the mind. You know, meaning now, you remember you have your unconscious space or your unconscious mind. Now, the space where the ideas that you will be thinking will be taken and be brought forth to light, that's what we talk about here. The space. Because for that idea even to be pop up in your mind and you start to see it, it have to be at a certain space on its own so that you can recognize it. Otherwise, in the unconscious, you can't recognize nothing. Nothing has been brought forth to light in the unconscious. So it's space in the intellectual mind of man. Space is yongqondo, where all ideas are generated in the conscious space. That's in space. Because when the light burst out and the air goes and manifests or was pushed by the bursting out of the light and the heat and the moisture, that's where things will be placed for creation. You see? So that space is where those things from the unseen, see, or the desire in the unseen will manifest what it desires there to be physical seen in the space where the fire chayela everything so that things will be same. This space is there also in your mind. The moment the idea pop up and you become conscious of it, it's when it is there in that space, that empty space, but where the consciousness is, where the idea, the light has popped up and then you saw it. Because once the idea came and you start to recognize it, it means it is visible in its own space. And that's what we talk about when we talk about space. Now, when we move from the intellectual mind sphere, siya ke ngoku kwi-artistic, meaning kwi-sphere se-spiritually of spiritual surrealism. I call it spiritual surrealism. It's not necessary to be called like that. It's a word I put myself. Yes, but try to understand me, because this is the way I understand the thing. I'm not saying this is the way the thing when you go out there you will find it structured like this. No, it's the knowledge that I found me and I formulate it to create this formula. I can call it a formula governed by these 7 principles that I am sharing to you. The abyss, which is the unconscious, which is the empty memory box. The fire, which is the idea, the first cause, which is the inspiration. Now we are talking about the air, or So air is space either way. These things are one, but I'm trying to show you at a certain sphere that this is what we are talking about. But this same thing, it happens here in this way. Yeah, see, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm not bringing anything new, like I'm talking of new things. No, I'm talking of the same things. This thing is more like a hologram or my microcosm, you know, the system which is within another system, which is within another system, which is another, you know, yeah, into that smallest simplified form. Singayazi noba i-endless or eternal wakwa. So what I'm saying now, the principle of space is the third principle in the intellectual mind, but in the cosmos is the air that came, the moisture that came when the fire comes out, you see, and give way for creation to manifest. Now, this air, it's a space where creation will also occupy and have their own being and move around. You see, yeah. So in the artistic space, the air or space is the canvas, or where your sculptors you will be putting them at, or where your sculptures you will be creating, wherever you either you display them or you it's a space where you create it, where you create them. But either way, it's the canvas or it's the it's the room space, because artists who are painters, they use a canvas as their empty space where they will create their magic there. Yeah, but the artist is fun and is sculptor, is sculptist, you know, those artists they don't deal like most of the time go use a space in the board or if a 2D surface space, you know. What they do bona by using 3D, this space that we are living in becomes his canvas, because if he's making this thing, he will make this thing so that I can hold it like this, you see. But still it's the artwork, but I can touch it and I can move it. So it's more like now his artwork is digital, the man now, because he can create the sculpture and put it here, someone else can take it and put it in a nice space, also make a nice display, also can put, you know. So his art is more maneuvering better than the canvas, which I have to also pick it here and display it here, then also display it there sometimes, because the canvas and what made the speaker is the material. You see, both are material, but the material now offer you a chance, or in the artist, in the canvas space, it offers the space for an artist to create. But now in the material that is physically like this one, for like amadongo, for bomba, like for ceramics, the space itself where you are sitting with the easels in amadongo, the room becomes the four corner of the canvas, the room for the artist. The artist will be here, sitting here, putting his old madongos here, the clay, someone will be moving somewhere there, but the whole of that space is the canvas, the space where the creativity is happening. You see, this is the same thing I'm talking about. Yeah, see. So, this is the third principle, the space where creation will be taking place. You see? Yeah, you must know your space. If your space, because the spaces are dimensions also, we must remember spaces are dimensions, because like the space of the paper is 2D, it's flat 2 dimension, but this one is in 3D, 3 dimension. You see, 1, 2, 3. If this one is hidden, 1, 2, 3, you know, yeah. So it's 3D. You see, so its bases differ, but either way, no matter it's 2D, no matter it's 3D, it's the space where creation will be taking place. Also, it can be the space where creation will be displayed after being taken place. I might create it here and then display it at a certain gallery. Also, space and space is one, but can go different dimensions, you know, because there won't be, it won't be like the same space. Like here you'll see the easels and the madongos and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, so by the way, these are the principles I'm talking about. Yeah, well, up, this is the cosmic mind or the cosmic board, the first sphere. This is the intellectual mind, the mind of a being, the artist himself. This is the art on its own. You see, it's spiritual side of manifestation of coming into being. There in the cosmos body, there is an abyss. Fire manifested. After fire manifested, light came into being. In the unconscious mind of a man, ideas came into being, and then that's where they exist. Uh, these ideas, they exist in the space within the mind of the individual. Now, when we go in this one, yeah, see, where the ideas exist here for us to see, you either, it depends on medium yakho, because apha as mna as an artist who use a canvas, my space will be the canvas. You see, will be the canvas where the idea, you will be seeing it, the play of all what I try to share with you, you will see it there. Yeah, see. So now we will be focusing ke ngoku. This is principle 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So siselapha ke. Asi. So we are going ke ngoku principle number 4. Yabo, meaning water or the substance. You see. Now, in the creation, when the air came, when the heat and the light burst out, and the heat came and the moisture started to came, then kwaqala kwaphuma kubona xa uvuthela umoya wakho against the window ubone kuba nkungu. Yeah, that is the moisture that came, and that moisture buya continue ukwenza la way. It's gonna get wet, the glass or whatever you are doing that thing on. So the moist will start to come. The more you breathe the air, you see, it's the air, but the air was hot because it manifested from the fire. You see, so the of creation, bah, the word that created things, bah, you know, the word come with heat, bah, the fire. Even you, if you say you can feel your inner fire. Yes. So the moisture now, it becomes up in the space of the intellectual mind. It becomes the matter. You see, the matter meaning the physicality now of like of that substance. It's more like these energies which were in the beginning of time, they express themselves into another phase now, you know, of becoming a substance. You see, from elements to substance, was fire and light and air, those are elements. But now when we come also to water, water is an element also, but because the water that was there produces ntoni eladaka liyimatha creation, yabo, le imatha represent apha physical space of surrealism. It represents the mediums, amadongo, ipaint, intoni. So imatha ile material izabe isetyenziswa yi-artist, the physical thing that you can express on, uyimolde to uforma le idea yakho ibe visible. Yeah, see, that was the substance or udaka, the cosmic soup that was there, you know, in the beginning when everything didn't even take shape. Yabo? Yeah. This is what we will be dealing with. Yeah, see, after the space is created. You see, so as an artist, where you have your memory box, you put your inspirations, you must know the material that you're gonna need. Your space where you will be creating the things is gonna be in the canvas, or I will be using udongwe. So my space must be the studio where I will be doing, because some other people don't even go to studios, they can work outside. So there are other works of art that need artists to be in the studio. So you must know your space, but also the medium that you're gonna use, because the medium is the one which allows you to determine your space that you're gonna be in. So your space must go according to the medium. Same as the space where the ideas in the unconsciousness, the idea came into light. You see, the idea which came into light, when it came into light, it manifests in its own space. You see, now it has to come into reality to be matter now, to be a substance. Because now even the scientists, they say it is to materialize the thing. When When someone can think of something and start to see it clear in his head, it starts to materialize. The idea starts to form and be solid within the mind. This is what we talk about, the matter, the equipment that the mind uses to create the idea on its own. Before, when as an artist, you can use a medium to express what the mind has already seen. This is the fourth principle, the substance or water, which will be matter, the matter which will be the medium. You see? Yeah. Substance principle number 4, matter and medium. So we will be continuing on these 3 after we are done with this one on the next video. So thank you for joining me for this small representation, and I hope ingakunceda ngenye imini nawe ikuphe istrength sokukwazi ucreate i-art yakho. As sigowa deeper serizina, maybe it's gonna bring more enlightenment or make it easier for you to create art in an endless way, because I found this thing, no matter what you do, it cannot be art like as an art to draw. But if you are one who does, who you are a thinker who has to use his hand and bring things into existence using materials, this is for you. Yeah, see, these 3 spheres, each sphere got 7 principles, so it's a 777. 777. As I was saying, that other people, they said, it's an occultic number or an angelic number. So those who know, maybe you can tell brethren that, hey, this man has figured out something, hey, with that angel. Maybe it's a sign, I don't know, but I have found something. So this is what I found. I will share it with you. So give thanks and praise for everything that is.